everyone, Shabbat Shalom. I thought I would share with you another cooking recipe that I'm doing, and because it's Friday, I figured I would make challah. You can make challah anytime before Shabbat or after Shabbat, but you need to give yourself some time because there's a part of it the dough has to rise and then you come back to it. So my favorite challah recipe ever actually came from one of our Camp Rebak unit leaders, Gabby. Shout out to Gabby. She gave me a recipe that she used because she actually made challah for all of the leadership team this summer, and it was amazing. So I borrowed her recipe, and I hope that it's okay that I'm sharing it with everybody because I think hands down it's going to be the best challah you've ever made. So get ready, we're gonna have some delicious challah for Shabbat, and the best part about challah is you can add whatever you want to it to flavor it, so you can really make it taste however you want. So you're going to need 1 bag of all-purpose flour. We're gonna use the whole bag, but make sure you keep a little bit on the side for when you're kneading your dough. 3 tablespoons of dry yeast, 1/2 cup of warm water, 2 cups of sugar, and then you're gonna need a spoonful of sugar to put in your yeast, so make sure you have some extra. 1.5 cups of vegetable oil, 7 teaspoons of salt, 4 cups of hot water, 7 large eggs, and the most important is an extra egg, and then whatever you want to top your challah with. So I have the everything seasoned bagel seasoning, which is always really yummy for my savory challah, and then some M&Ms for a dessert challah. Okay, so first we're going to start with the yeast and water and sugar mixture. This is what makes your bread rise. So if you didn't know, yeast is actually alive. So it's kind of a cool thing to work with. So you have your 3 tablespoons of yeast, and you add that in a mixing bowl with your warm water and sugar, and then you set it aside. If your kitchen is kind of chilly, because it's not quite warm out yet, you can always turn your oven to 300 degrees and let it sit on the oven door, which is what I'm gonna do. Now we're gonna mix together 7 large eggs in a big bowl and then set them aside. Okay, so the eggs are set aside, and now we're going to combine our 2 cups of sugar, 1.5 cups of vegetable oil, 7 teaspoons of salt, and 4 cups of hot water all together in a separate bowl, and then put that aside. Okay, so now we're gonna start combining everything together, but I wanted you to see how awesome this yeast became. It went from watery to big and foamy. Isn't that cool? So this is gonna get added to the eggs, and then the sugar, oil, water mixture is gonna get added to the eggs as well, and then the flour. So you can just watch as I do all the magic. Okay, don't be afraid to make a mess. It's gonna get messy. If you have a mixer at home, like a KitchenAid, I suggest using it. It makes it a lot easier. We don't have one where I am right now, so the old-fashioned way is great too. It's also a fun activity. Get messy, and when the dough gets a little bit sticky, but a little firmer, kind of like it is now, we're gonna dump it onto the countertop with some flour underneath it, so that way you can just start kneading it, and then you're gonna really start to see the dough form for you. put a little bit of oil in the bowl, the bottom, so that way it won't stick to the bowl. Started using this to scrape it. It's awesome. If you have a big spatula at home, it's definitely worth using because the dough does start to stick a little bit to the counter. And we just drop it in. All right. So now we're just going to set it aside in a nice warm place. Cover it for an hour or so. You want to check on it and make sure that before you use it, it's going to rise. So this is going to essentially be like this. So you're just going to put it away and then you come back later. Okay, we're ready to uncover our challah. You ready? Let's see what it looks like. Dun ta da! Whoa! Look at that challah, it's exploding. Okay, now you want to pound it down. So you just take your hand and you can just punch it in because you're gonna put it out onto the countertop and we're gonna roll it out into challah bread. Okay, so you can see just how big our dough has gotten. It's been about 2 hours that I let it rise. So before we put it onto the table, we're gonna put some flour down first. Just keep it from sticking. So just some all-purpose flour, because we're gonna start making the bread for our challahs. But first we have to pound the dough. So we just kind of pull it out. Remember, we put some oil in here to help keep it from sticking. So you're gonna have to mix it in to the bread a little bit before you start. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a great piece. And you know, I was thinking when I was making this before that there's so many challah recipes out there, and everyone has their own way of doing it and their own recipes. Some people put all the ingredients in at once and then the yeast, and some people do it how I did it today, where we mixed things separately and then added them together. So there's really no wrong way to make a challah. The important thing is that you made it and that it's an opportunity to do something with your family together. If you have anybody there with you. I am actually not in New Jersey right now. I'm in South Carolina with my family because we came down here before and have stayed for a little bit longer. All right, so I'm in my mom's kitchen and she was helping but didn't want to be in the video. Okay, so I'm gonna get that really awesome spatula from before, and I'm going to separate it in two because this recipe, when you use that whole bag of flour, you can really make 2 challahs. You can make more than 2, truthfully, because it's a lot of dough. But you can make 2 really nice big challahs, and also you could freeze it. So you could take one of these or more of these. You could say, like, this is what I'm going to use today. I'm going to put this in a freezer bag, close it, stick it in the freezer, take it out next Thursday, keep it in the fridge, and it'll defrost and it'll get bigger. But before you put it in the freezer, you want to make sure that you really pound it out, get all that air out, because then it'll take up less space in your freezer. All right, so now we're gonna start braiding. So I have separated my dough and put the one big piece aside, and I've made my 3 balls. So what you can do, again, there's no right or wrong way, everyone has their own method, is you can season your dough before you braid if you want your challah to have some flavor inside and not just on top. So what I would do is if you're doing a sweet challah, you can do cinnamon sugar and you can work that into your balls of dough before you braid it, and then you have it like woven throughout the entire bread. So I'm gonna do my savory challah with my everything bagel seasoning, which I found at the local grocery store. I was very excited. I was worried they weren't gonna have it. And I'm gonna take my first ball and put some more flour down because we've ran it here and they're really can start to stick, and the flour is really helpful. So you just kind of knead it, and again, everyone has their way of doing this. There's no right or wrong way, but you want to just spread these out into what we call when I used to make challah with little kids, we call them snakes. So you want to make your challah snakes. Now you have 3 snakes. We're going to start braiding them. So again, everyone has their own way of doing it. There's a lot of different ways. And if you don't get it right, you can just keep trying. That's the beauty. It's just dough, have fun. Okay, so we braided it, and now what we want to do is add the egg wash and whatever flavor you want onto it. Like I said, I am using my everything bagel seasoning. I love it. It's really great on challah. So we just beat our eggs up, wash it on the bread, and sprinkle on top. The next thing that you're gonna do is put it in the oven for 350 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. It really depends on how big your challah is and how your oven cooks. So you just keep an eye on it until it's golden brown on top, and check in the inside, make sure it's cooked, and then you're good to go. Into the oven it goes. This is like half a human. It's gonna be humongous. Okay, so I had so much dough from what we made that I went ahead and put half of it in the freezer bag. Challah, the date, April 1st, and this is going in the freezer for next Thursday or Friday for us to make. Check it out, it's awesome, and I think you're gonna like it. Check it out. I hope you enjoy. I hope you get to make some challah and that it lasts you and brings you guys joy and some fun things to do together while you're home. So enjoy, and Shabbat Shalom.